Welcome into high school football, Alabama's After the Game on a Football Friday night, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. And we'll get started tonight with special guests live in the studio. Here's the White Plains High School Wildcat cheerleaders on After the Game.
We are the White Plains Wildcats. Welcome to After the Game on a Football Friday night.
Thanks to the White Plains High School cheerleaders. They will be back with us a little bit later on in the show. Glad to have you with us on this first night of region play of high school football. Some big games going on across the area, some long games, some wild games tonight, some upsets along the way, some upsets that still could happen, some games still in progress across East Alabama. So right now, let's go to our scoreboard show. We'll catch up on all the final scores from across East Alabama as we go to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. This was not a major upset, but maybe the manner that it happened tonight. Rams Stadium in Sylvania. Number 9 Sylvania in 3A taking on number 8 Piedmont. Sylvania finally beats Piedmont. They've lost to them twice last year. They lost to them in the regular season at Piedmont. They lost in the state semifinals, the North Alabama championship game at the Field of Champions. But not tonight. Sylvania drops Piedmont to 0-2 as the Rams win tonight over the Bulldogs 23-7. A lot of folks think that Sylvania might be the leader in Class 3A Region 6, and tonight they proved that, knocking off the defending region champions 23-7 up at Sylvania this evening. Also tonight, a big loss for the Donahoe Falcons and a big win for the Ragland Purple Devils over at Joan Ford Stadium in Ragland. Ragland tonight beats Donahoe. Donahoe remains winless at 0-3 as Ragland beats Donahoe 66-0, the final score from Joan Ford Stadium in Ragland. Tonight, the Oxford Yellow Jackets, this was a close game for a while in the first half. At one point, Oxford only led this game 14-13 over in Irondale at the Nix Athletic Complex. Oxford beating Shades Valley, though, 42-13 as Oxford pulls away in the second half, takes their overall series record with Shades Valley to 11-1, and Oxford remains undefeated at 3-0. We don't have a final score on this game as of yet, but we will have highlights of this game. Anniston at home at Watt Mosby Memorial Stadium in Anniston. In the fourth quarter, Anniston was leading Munford 28-7. Looks like they are on their way to a victory there. We should have a final score for you momentarily. Another one of those games running long tonight up at Watt Mosby Memorial Stadium. But Anniston, at last check, had a 3-touchdown lead, leading Munford 28-7. Again, not a final in this game, but Beulah actually pulling off a big upset tonight down in Lee County. Beulah was beating the Sax Wildcats 38-16 tonight down in Lee County. We should have a final score on that game coming. A wild ending tonight on the Creek Bank at Ohatchee. Ohatchee has the lead late in the game. Westbrook Christian scores and goes for 2 to try to win it. They were denied on that 2-point conversion, and Ohatchee hangs on to beat Steve Smith and Westbrook Christian 34-33 to remain undefeated. The head coach of the Indians, Chris Finley, will join us live, and we will have highlights of that game from the Creek Bank at Ohatchee. A thrilling ending tonight at Ohatchee. Also tonight, we'll have highlights of this game. Number 5, Moody, without 3 starters, 3 college prospect starters tonight, but they still had no problems at all as they go into Alexandria, the home opener at Lou Scales Stadium, and Moody remains undefeated. Number 5 in the state in 5A. They beat Alexandria tonight 42-7, the final. Highlights of that game coming from Death Valley. This game has just gone final, and this was a back-and-forth close game all night long. It's tied at 20 in the fourth quarter. Dadeville pulls it out at Tiger Stadium in Dadeville, and they beat the Weaver Bearcats. Keep in mind, Dadeville, the defending region champion here, so Dadeville beats Weaver tonight 26-20 down in Tallapoosa County at Dadeville. This is one of those games that is still going on. Number 6 Hanley hosting number 5 Jacksonville. A key game in Class 4A Region 4 at Wright Field in Roanoke. So now about a minute and a half, this is the latest update, about a minute and a half to go in the game. Jacksonville just converted a 4th down conversion. They are just past midfield, driving now in Hanley territory. It is 32-24 Hanley. If Jacksonville can score and get a 2-point conversion, they could force overtime. 1:30 to go in the game. Right now, Hanley leading Jacksonville 32-24. This has been a wild game. We should have a final score coming for you in just a few moments. But right now, Handley hanging on to an 8-point lead, 32-24 over Jacksonville. And that is an up-to-the-minute update from down at right field in Roanoke. Big win tonight for Pleasant Valley. We'll have highlights of this game. The Raiders beating West End tonight in Class 2A Region 6 play out at Raider Field at Pleasant Valley. Pleasant Valley 34, West End 14. That is the final score tonight. Big win for Jonathan Nix and the Raiders. Also tonight, Cleburne County and Talladega don't have a final yet, but Talladega was trailing Cleburne County. This was in the second half. Heflin leading Talladega 28-0 down at Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega. We should have a final on that game coming soon, but it looks like Cleburne County is going to go to 2-0. Ranburne tonight bounces back after the loss last week to Wadley. They beat Fayetteville tonight over in Ranburne at Harlan Robinson Stadium. They double up the Fayetteville Wolves. Big region win for Ranburne. Ranburne beats Fayetteville 38-19. BB Comer, #1 team in the state in Class 2A. BB Comer all over Woodland tonight at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. BB Comer winning 45-0. Still looking for a final on Childersburg and Randolph County. In the second half, Randolph County was leading at John Cox Stadium in Childersburg 38-22. So it looks like Randolph County is going to go to 2-0. Should have a final on that game. Randolph County did win the game 38-28 is the final. So we'll have that graphically for you. But Randolph County does win to remain undefeated 38-28 at Childersburg tonight. Wadley, a huge win over #10 Spring Garden tonight down at Wadley. Wadley remains undefeated. They beat Spring Garden 41-7. Turnovers again, a big issue last year in the Wadley Spring Garden game. A big story for Spring Garden last week against Coosa Christian. And a big story tonight, more turnovers as Wadley converts those turnovers into points. And Wadley tonight beating Spring Garden 41-7 down at Wadley this evening. Same score just up the road in Clay County. #9 in 5A, Central of Clay County beats Tallahassee tonight. No problems at Volunteer Stadium as Clay Central wins 41-7 over the Tallahassee Tigers. Last night, Elmore County at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. They beat Sylacauga 35-7. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, it will be Oklahoma School for the Deaf playing against Alabama School for the Deaf. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff at Kiwanis Field in Talladega coming up tomorrow night. Victory Christian and TCC playing this evening in Pell City. Still looking for a final score in that matchup in Class 1A play tonight. Southside and Lincoln. We will have highlights of this game from Keith Howard Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, where Southside beats Lincoln 29-8. Big win for Southside. Gage Neesmith out for the season with a knee injury. How would Southside respond? Very impressively on the road at Lincoln tonight in the Battle of Highway 77. They beat the Golden Bears 29-8, the final tonight from Lincoln. Highlights on the way. Clay Chalkville, #2 team in the state in Class 6A, very talented team. They come into Pell City. Pell City falls to 0-3 as Clay Chalkville wins the game 46-7. Rush Probst still looking for his first win as head coach of the Pell City Panthers. Springville and Leeds still looking for a final on this one. Leeds had control of this game in the fourth quarter. #10 Leeds leading at Springville 23-7. Should have a final, but it looks like Leeds will maintain their top 10 ranking and pick up win #2 on the year. Etowah also had a big lead. Actually, this is now a final. Etowah, this score just coming in, has beaten Asheville in the Raymond Farmer Bowl over at Ken Logan Stadium in Asheville. Etowah, the big story here, Matt Glover on administrative leave, not coaching the team tonight as they made that trip down to Asheville to take on the Bulldogs. But it didn't matter. Blake Bone is the acting head coach at Etowah, and Etowah wins their first game tonight as the Blue Devils beat Asheville 42-13 at Ken Logan Stadium in Asheville. This is another final score. #3 in Class 2A, Pisgah. The Eagles tonight rolling over Sandrock 50-7. They led it 50-0. Sandrock with a late score to make it 50-7. Cherokee County on the road tonight in Coleman County against the Good Hope Raiders. #2 in 4A, the Center Warriors winning with no problem tonight, putting it on cruise control at Good Hope, winning 35-0. Last night, Coosa Christian, one of the top teams in Class 1A, they win at Galesville 49-0 in the game that was moved earlier this week to Thursday night. Woodville and Cedar Bluff still looking for a final. Woodville has never beaten Cedar Bluff. Cedar Bluff leading the all-time series with Woodville at 15-0. Woodville is leading in the fourth quarter by a point over Cedar Bluff. We'll have a final score for you coming from up in Jackson County to see if Woodville can pull off that win over Cedar Bluff. Southeastern and Gaston tonight. That one is reversed. It was actually Southeastern beating Gaston 46-0. So we'll get that one corrected. But Southeastern beat Gaston tonight. That is not correct. Southeastern 46, Gaston nothing. The final score tonight. There's the corrected final. Thank you. Southeastern beats Gaston 46-0 over at Remlap in Blount County tonight. Huge win for the Hoax Bluff Eagles. Hoax Bluff now 8 in a row over Glencoe. Hoax Bluff 47, Glencoe 7 at Mike Robertson Stadium out at Hoax Bluff tonight. We will have highlights of that game coming up on After the Game. Gadsden City and Buckhorn still looking for a final. Gadsden City was leading this game up in Newmarket in Madison County tonight, 49-7 late in the fourth quarter. Gadsden City obviously on their way to a big region win, and they are going to 2-1 with that win tonight. And there is the final. Gadsden City wins it 49-14, a huge win for Ali Smith and the Titans tonight up in Newmarket. Still looking for some statewide scores. Big game in 2A in South Alabama tonight in Pike County. Goshen taking on the Highland Home Flying Squadron tonight. Saraland and St. Paul's tonight. Big matchup in Mobile playing tonight over at Saraland. Also, we've got Faith Academy and Gulf Shores. Another big game taking place down in the Gulf Coast area. We'll be looking for those finals a little bit later on. We do have this final. The big game in Metro Birmingham tonight was Thompson and Vestavia Hills. And Vestavia looking like they might be the biggest threat to Thompson. Thompson still wins it. Number 1 team, 4-time defending state champion in 7A. Thompson tonight winning over number 4 Vestavia Hills. That was at Alabaster. Thompson wins the game 21-3. Enterprise and Central Phoenix City still looking for a score in that game. Central Phoenix City was up big tonight out Bill Bacon Stadium in Enterprise over number 3 Enterprise. We'll have a final score for that hopefully soon. And the final game tonight involving statewide teams that are ranked playing each other. Another big 7A game down in Mobile County, and that was Mary Montgomery and Foley. Mary Montgomery and Foley still looking for a final score in that game. I think we're going back, and we do have a final score. We thought this would end while we were going through here. A great game tonight. Kind of a sloppy game, a lot of penalties in this game, but Handley hangs on to beat Jacksonville. 32-24 is the final. Number 6 Handley hands number 5 Jacksonville their first loss of the season as Handley wins over the Golden Eagles. That game just ended at Wright Field in Roanoke tonight. Handley 32, Jacksonville 24. Handley remains undefeated at 3-0. Well, we're back. We want to tell you about Johnson's Giant Food. We're going to show you the Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week a little bit later on. They bring you that each week, but Johnson's Giant Food also is the place to go for football season. If you are getting ready for those big games tomorrow, Alabama and Texas, Auburn and Cal, Jacksonville State playing at Coastal Carolina, number of big games going on in college football. It does not matter what you need. Johnson's Deli has it all for you. Smoked meats, already prepared. Fried chicken, chicken fingers, chicken salad. They've got salads, breads, chips, dips, soft drinks, everything you need for tailgating. Johnson's Giant Food, 5 locations to serve you in East Alabama, in Attala, 2 locations in Gadsden, downtown and East Gadsden, also in Jacksonville and in Coldwater. Johnson's Giant Food bringing you our concession stand of the week a little bit later on tonight here on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We promised you more of the White Plains High School Wildcat cheerleaders. Here they are on After the Game.
R-O-A-R, roar, cats roar!
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder, Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett, our entire hard-working After the Game crew with you all night long up until 12 midnight tonight with everything you need to know about high school football in East Alabama. Farmers and Merchants Bank, they have given out over $24,000 in scholarships to local high school students in just the past 6 years, and they now have 5 locations: Piedmont, Jacksonville, Anniston, Oxford, and they are now in Center. They are the only bank that offers school spirit debit cards for all the local schools in Calhoun and Cherokee County. And we're going to tell you more about one of the things that we partner with Farmers and Merchants Bank in doing every football season. And it's back this year. We'll detail that in just a moment. But before we get there, we've got a new final score coming in that we need to update you on. Cleburne County goes to 2-0. The Tigers tonight in a battle of Tigers. They win at Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega as they beat the Talladega Tigers tonight 42-13. Cleburne County 2-0 with that win tonight at Talladega. Back on After the Game, we mentioned Farmers and Merchants Bank, and we are now for the 4th year in a row bringing you the Spirit Scholarship Program. And what happens is every high school, whether they play football or not, every high school in Calhoun and Cherokee counties, that's 19 high schools, are going to be competing with 4 nominees, 2 male athletes, 2 female athletes that are going to be nominated by the school, and they're going to be competing for $3,000 in scholarships. 76 student athletes that we're going to introduce to you over the next 8 weeks. 38 of those, once we narrow it from 4 to 2 at each school, will receive a $50 gift card courtesy of the folks at Farmers and Merchants Bank. And tonight, we're going to introduce those athletes to you. And here's the cool part about it. You, the viewers out there, totally select who gets the scholarship. This is fan voting on High School Football Alabama's Facebook page. That will begin at midnight tonight. You can vote for our 2 schools nominees from midnight tonight all the way through 12 noon next Friday, the 15th day of September. And then we'll keep voting all the way up to November, and you'll be selecting our scholarship, our Spirit Scholarship, male and female athlete from right here in East. Chosen by you. All you have to do is go to the Facebook page, scroll down the nominee that you want to vote for, just like their picture. It's as simple as that. So now tonight we have two schools that we're going to be voting on this week, Spring Garden and Alexandria. We're going to begin with the two female nominees from Spring Garden High School. You see Libby Brown off that state championship basketball team last year, 3.83 GPA. All these are seniors. Also another female athlete from Spring Garden who is also on that state championship basketball team from last year. That is Maggie Reedy, a 3.81 GPA playing girls basketball. Two male athletes from Spring Garden High School that are nominated for this. One is football player Jacob Dempsey with a 2.53 GPA. And the final nominee from Spring Garden High School is their outstanding quarterback, Chapel Pope, with a 3.8 GPA. Vote for Spring Garden tonight, starting at 12 midnight. We also have four student athletes from Alexandria High School. Here are the two females. Kaylee Dickerson, volleyball player on that outstanding volleyball program at Alexandria, a 4.05 GPA. Also, the other female nominee from Alexandria is Jill Cockrell, softball player. They have outstanding softball, as you know, at Alexandria as well, with a perfect 4.0 GPA. And there are two male athletes from Alexandria High School. Basketball player Drake Davis with a 4.03 GPA. And our final nominee of the night that you can vote for, male athlete from Alexandria High School. And that final male athlete that we're going to show you is Latrez Turner, a football player and a wrestler. Big guy with a 2.8 GPA. Again, you can go and you will be able to vote at High School Football Alabama's Facebook page beginning at midnight tonight for the athletes from Spring Garden and from Alexandria, $3,000 in our Spirit Scholarship fan favorite contest with Farmers and Merchants Bank. Well, we told you about Johnson's Giant Food and how they bring you the concession stand of the week. This week, we're going to take you to Southside for our concession stand of the week. Concession stand of the week presented by Johnson's Giant Food. We are at Smoke Neck Tech at Southside tonight at Barney Hood Stadium, and this is the Southside Athletic Booster Club, and they have all kinds of things. Here comes the game at Barney Hood Stadium. You are not going to go hungry for sure. We got Coach Short here. Coach, they got chili Frito pie for us tonight. Look at this. And that's good. What do you think about this, Coach?
It looks inviting. I can't wait.
All right, the folks here at Southside are going to get a $100 gift card to help them out with their concession stand here, courtesy of Johnson's Giant Food. Locations all across Etowah and Calhoun counties. So, Coach, let's go see what you got here. Ready?
Let's give it a try. Gotta mix it up.
Homemade chili. This is Donna Ramsey. She is Nana, they call her here at Southside, kind of runs things here at the Southside High School Athletic Foundation concession stand. She says that the chili is homemade. So if you come out here when it gets colder a little bit later on, this is the item to get at Southside, that chili Frito pie, if I can say that. Great item here at Southside on a football Friday night. Coach Short wearing it out.
That's good.
That's the Southside Athletic Booster Club with the Frito Chili Pie at Southside. They are concession stand of the week, and they will receive a $100 gift certificate courtesy of Johnson's Giant Food to help them buy some supplies in the concession stand there at Southside. Go by and visit them right there in the end zone as you come in to the stadium at Barney Hood Stadium at Southside, next Southside home game. If you're there, check that out. They got a lot of great things there, but that Cheeto, or to say that Frito chili pie was fantastic as Coach Short and all of our crew got to partake in that last Thursday night out at Southside. And you will be able to vote on our concession stand of the year as well. At the end of the year, we'll take our 11 concession stands of the week, and there'll be online voting on our Facebook page at High School Football Alabama, and you will be able to vote for the concession stand of the year. We'll give them a nice plaque to hang up in the concession stand, voting them as the concession stand of the year. When we come back, more scores, more highlights. Head coach of the Ohatchee Indians, Chris Finley, will be here live to talk about that thrilling ending to the Ohatchee-Westbrook game. All of that and more as high school football Alabama's After the Game rolls on a Football Friday night.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you. But when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, a place to use the gifts and talents God has given you, a place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Aniston. Visit our website for details.
High school football Alabama After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We've got just about every final score on our sheets ready to roll for you as we take you to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. Number 8 Piedmont loses tonight. They're 0-2 now as the Bulldogs lose at Sylvania, 23-7 the final tonight from up at Ram Stadium in Sylvania. Ragland, a big win over Donahoe tonight at Joan Ford Stadium in Ragland. Ragland 66, Donahoe nothing. Oxford pulls away after only leading 14-13 at one point. Oxford scores the final 28 points of the game, and they win in Irondale against Shades Valley, 42-13. Final score now on the Aniston game. Aniston led 22-7 at halftime. They pull away in the second half. They beat Munford 47-14 at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium in Aniston. We will have highlights of that game coming up on After the Game. Beulah and Sachs still don't have a final. We do have an updated score. Beulah was leading Sachs 38-24 late in the game down in Lee County at Beulah. This went final, and that is 38-24 Beulah. 38-24. Beulah has beaten the Sacs Wildcats tonight as Sacs now falls to 0-3. There you see the score there. Great job by our crew. Beulah wins the game 38-24 over Sacs tonight. The best ending tonight was on the Creek Bank at Ohatchee. Westbrook Christian scores right at the end of the game, goes for two to try to win it. Ohatchee denies them, and Ohatchee escapes with a 34-33 win over Westbrook Christian tonight. We will have the head coach of the Ohatchee Indians, Chris Finley, live right here on After the Game to talk about that exciting finish as Ohatchee goes to 3-0, and more importantly, they go to 1-0 in Class 2 or Class 3A Region 6 play. Also tonight, Moody beating Alexandria by a score of 42-7. We will have highlights of both those games, the Alexandria-Moody game and the Ohatchee-Westbrook game, coming up on After the Game. Dadeville tonight. Weaver almost pulled the upset, but Dadeville wins it over Weaver down at Tiger Stadium in Dadeville, 26-20, the final. Hanley and Jacksonville, as we understand it, 35 seconds to go in the game. Jacksonville was driving, trying to score and go for two to send it to overtime. Jim Ogle was sacked with 35 seconds to go in the game. That ended it. It was fourth down, and Hanley beats Jacksonville in a thrilling game, a wild game tonight at Wright Field in Roanoke, where Hanley beat Jacksonville 32-24. Pleasant Valley, huge win tonight in 2A Region 6. We'll have highlights of this game coming from Raiderville. Pleasant Valley beats West End. Jonathan Nix beating his alma mater 34-14, an impressive win for Pleasant Valley. They are now 2-0. We showed you the score earlier. Cleburne County now 2-0 as they roll over Talladega tonight at Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega, 42-13. Ranburne tonight doubling up Fayetteville. The Bulldogs back on the winning track as they beat the Wolves 38-19 over at Ranburne tonight. B.B. Comer, number one team in the state, rolling tonight at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga, beating Woodland 45-0. Childersburg and Randolph County. Randolph County wins the game at Childersburg. They remain undefeated at 2-0 as the Tigers win it 38-28 at John Cox Stadium in Childersburg. Wadley beats number 10 Spring Garden. Spring Garden's now lost 2 in a row. Wadley is undefeated. Wadley very impressively tonight, 41-7 against Spring Garden. Turnovers another problem tonight for the Panthers. Clay Central by the same score tonight wins at home at Volunteer Stadium. They beat the Tallahassee Tigers 41-7. Last night, Elmore County a winner over Sylacauga at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga 35-7. Tomorrow night, Oklahoma School for the Deaf coming in from Sulphur, Oklahoma to play at ASD. 7 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night at Kiwanis Field in Talladega. Victory Christian and TCC still looking for a final on this game in Class 1A play down in Pell City. Southside will have highlights of this game. The Panthers win at Lincoln. A huge win for Miles Holcomb and the Panthers as they beat the Golden Bears, handing them their first loss tonight at Keith Howard Memorial Stadium, 29-8. Clay Chalkville rolls into Pell City, and they roll out with a big win. Clay Chalkville, number 2 in 6A, beating Pell City 46-7. Springville and Leeds. This has now gone final. Leeds has beaten Springville at Tiger Stadium in Springville tonight. Leeds, number 10 in 5A, over Springville 23-7. Etowah, big story here. Matt Glover on administrative leave. Blake Bone coaching the team fully this week. Etowah wins at Asheville in the Raymond Farmer Bowl. Etowah 42, Asheville 13 tonight at Ken Logan Stadium in Asheville. Number 3 in 2A, Pisgah. No problem with Sandrock tonight up in Jackson County at Pisgah as the Eagles fly over the Wildcats 50-7. Cherokee County on the road tonight. The number 2 team in 4A winning at Good Hope over in Coleman County 35-0. Last night, another shutout. Coosa Christian rolls over Galesville 49-0 in a Thursday night game at Galesville. Here's a big one, folks. Cedar Bluff had never lost to the Panthers. You see that. It says Cedar Bluff has never lost to the Panthers. That is no longer true. Cedar Bluff, for the first time ever, loses to Woodville tonight at Woodville. Big celebration in Jackson County as the Woodville Panthers beat Cedar Bluff 38-27 tonight. Huge win for Woodville against Cedar Bluff. Southeastern and Gaston. Gaston on the road at Rim Lap tonight in Blount County. Southeastern wins the game 46-0. We'll have highlights of this game Hoax Bluff wins the 80th meeting between the Eagles and the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. Hoax Bluff bouncing back nicely from that loss to Southside in another big rival game. They beat Glencoe 47-7. Highlights of that game coming. Gadsden City with another impressive win, winning in Newmarket in Madison County tonight against the Buckhorn Bucks 49-14 as Gadsden City goes to 2-1. Goshen and Highland Home. We do have the final now. Number 2, Highland Home. They go in and beat number 7, Goshen. Big rival game down in South Central Alabama in Pike County at Goshen. Highland Home wins the game 42-21, the final score in that top 10 matchup in Class 2A play down in South Alabama. Also tonight, this score now in Gulf Shores, Ronnie Royal, the former Alexandria star, now playing for the Dolphins of Gulf Shores. Gulf Shores goes across the bay into Mobile, and they knock off number 3 Faith Academy. This is a huge win for Mark Hudspeth and Gulf Shores as they beat Faith Academy tonight, 31-16, the final score tonight from the port city of Mobile. Saraland and St. Paul's tonight. You know, we talked about on Before the Game with Tommy Wood last night that Saraland might be the best team in the state in any classification. They're sure showing it. The defending Class 6A state champions, ranked number 1, they beat number 10 St. Paul's Episcopal 47-3 tonight down in Saraland. Huge win for the Spartans. Another impressive win by the Thompson Warriors. Thompson tonight at home beating number 4 Vestavia Hills as the number 1 ranked team in 7A rolls 21-3 at Alabaster tonight. Enterprise and Central Phoenix City. You know, Enterprise had that big, huge upset win at Auburn last week. They come back home tonight to Bill Bacon Stadium. Number 2 Central Phoenix City blasting Enterprise 48-7 at Enterprise this evening. And how about Foley and Mary Montgomery? One last game going on in Class 7A, and that is number 8 Mary Montgomery. Surprise team in 7A. They beat number 9 Foley tonight down in Sims in Mobile County. 3 huge games tonight in Mobile and Baldwin counties. Mary Montgomery, the Vikings beating Foley tonight 28-7, the final in that game. Cutter's Pizzeria, 2 locations to serve you. Alexandria and also in Oxford, and they've got the 4 for $30 special going on. 2 pizzas, 2 apps for just $30, all kind of specials. Go to cutterspizzeria.com. They fed our crew tonight. Folks, I cannot tell you, does that pizza look good? Because I want to tell you, it is every bit as good as it looks. That little piece right there in the corner, I ate that one, that's gone. Also pepperoni pizza, this double deck stacked pizza, they got every kind of pizza you want. And this pizza is fantastic. I hope there's some left. Save me another piece, guys, here about midnight or so, because I'm going to come look for another piece of this great pizza from Cutter's Pizzeria. Again, 2 locations to serve you. Highway 78 in Oxford, 431 in Alexandria. 2 pizzas, 2 apps, back to school special for $30. They've got the deep dish, as you can see there, Chicago-style pizza, hand-tossed. They've got it all. Cutter's Pizzeria feeding our crew here on these football Friday nights. Well, coming up in just a couple of moments, we will have the head football coach of the Ohatchee Indians, Chris Finley. Big win tonight over Westbrook Christian. But before the big win, we were out at Ohatchee at the Gerald Acker Gymnasium and Fieldhouse for the pep rally today. Here it is, some highlights of that pep rally presenting the Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. See Cole Sterling there, Kathy Gregerson there representing Ted's Floors and Beyond. We've got the Anniston Orthopedic score shirts with after the game on the front. And they really like what's on the back because on the back is the score and the date of the game from last week where they won Team of the Week, where they beat Walter Welborn 26-7. They also got, you see Cole there holding that Tough Guy Team of the Week trophy. That also has the score and the date on it, courtesy of the folks at Awards to Remember. There's Cole and Kathy there representing the folks from Ted's Floors and Beyond presenting the trophy. They also get Ted's T-shirts as well. Congratulations to the Ohatchee Indians, our Team of the Week. And we will be announcing this week's Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week coming up probably about an hour and a half or so. Hang in there with us. Close to midnight, we will have the announcement of Week 3 Team of the Week. And we'll find out who's getting the trophy, the T-shirts, and all the goodies, courtesy of Anniston Orthopedics and Ted's Floors and Beyond. As we go to break, time for our first Red Threads Extra Point. Next Friday's Cherokee County Aniana game at Bobby Joe Johnson Field and Center will be the 26th meeting of the two schools. Series is deadlocked at 12-12-1. The Warriors have won 6 of the last 9 contests versus the Redskins. The two teams split 2 games last season, with Aniana winning at home in the regular season at Gilbert Stadium in Aniana. The Cherokee County won in the Class 4A semifinals in Center the night after Thanksgiving last year. More of high school football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, in just a moment.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I can instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Aniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
High school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Let's tell you about Young Oil Grub Mart bringing you our muscle team. We're going to make our muscle team announcement for this week coming up in just a moment. But Grub Mart now, with locations all across East Alabama, they stretch from Cherokee County to Lee County and all points in between. They have the Super Saver card. They have the Marathon Rewards card. You can go check out their app, their website. They have all kind of great jobs available, great folks to work for there at Young Oil Grub Mart. They also, in addition to selling quality gasoline, they also sell farm and industrial fuel as well. Great folks at Young Oil Grub Mart bringing you our Grub Mart muscle team. This is the top offensive or defensive line in East Alabama each week. How about our muscle team this week? The Cherokee County defensive line. Here's those guys: Aiden Watts, Caleb Harbor, and of course you've all heard of Tay Diamond. There's those three guys. That's that front three in that 3-4 defensive alignment for the Cherokee County Warriors. Last week against Piedmont at the Field of Champions, they basically, except for one big play from the Piedmont offense, they shut down the Piedmont offense, winning the game 26-7 was the final score in that game. And they were dominant, forcing 4 turnovers by the Piedmont Bulldogs, shutting down the Piedmont running game. An impressive performance by the Cherokee County defensive line. And tonight, on the road at Good Hope, they threw a shutout on the Good Hope Raiders. Here's what you're going to get: these Grub Mart Muscle Team, the brand new one with our new logo 2023. All 3 of those guys will get one of these T-shirts. Our first Muscle Team was Weaver. I delivered those to Weaver High School, to Ken Cofer today, to his offensive line. They've got those. You'll see these Grub Mart Muscle Team T-shirts all across East Alabama in the coming weeks as we honor the top either offensive or defensive line here in East Alabama, courtesy of the folks at Young Oil Grub Mart. Folding that up, we'll have Team of the Week coming up, Player of the Week coming up as well, and a whole lot more as we roll on a Football Friday night. Facebook and YouTube, High School Football Alabama's After the Game.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
We live in a world that moves quickly. And while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
After 15 years of supplying top-quality, name-brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
Calhoun County Commission brings you High School Football Alabama's After the Game every Football Friday night, live here on Facebook and YouTube. The County Commission made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, supporting all of our schools both public, private, city, county. They support all the schools here in Calhoun County from north to south. And of course, great recreational sites. We have some of the most beautiful areas and beautiful parks that you'll find anywhere in the state of Alabama right here, and our county commissioners are a big part of that and a big part of bringing you high school football Alabamas after the game each and every football Friday night. Back on after the game, maybe the most exciting ending tonight in all of East Alabama was on the Creek Bank at Ohatchee. It involved our reigning two Ted's Floors and Beyond Teams of the Week, Westbrook Christian from week 1, Ohatchee from last week. And we told you all year long that Class 3A Region 6, that every game was going to be big, every game was going to be important, every week would be a war. And tonight was a good example of that. You'll see these scores coming up on our Alabama Teachers Credit Union bottom line tonight. One of the scores you'll see that will jump out at you is Ohatchee remains undefeated. They beat Westbrook Christian tonight 34-33 on the Creek Bank at Ohatchee. As promised, the head coach of the Indians, Coach Chris Finley, with us. Coach, and Michael Short, welcome him in for the first time tonight from our staff. Coach, you led, I believe, the whole game. You actually led at one time 26-6, but Westbrook makes the comeback. Tell us how this game ended.
So they scored a touchdown there at the end to get within 2. We had gotten a 7-point lead, or get within 1, and decided to go for 2, and we were able to make a play and stop them from getting that and win it. There was 30 seconds left at the time. So.
Wow, I bet everybody on both sides, probably nobody's sitting down at Roy Owens Field tonight in that last 30 seconds.
No, nobody's sitting, for sure.
Coach, your football team's very impressive. Let's go back. You had a 26-6 lead, so obviously you played well against Sachs. You played well last week against Welborn. Westbrook coming on, and you played well tonight. You're 3-0. Now you're 1-0, and every victory in that 3A Region 6 is big. Yeah. Just kind of assess. We'll talk more about tonight's game, but overall, just assess your team so far.
I'm really proud of them. That we've had a little bit of adversity. In both the first 2 weeks, we gave up quick touchdowns in both those first 2 weeks, and even tonight we gave up a quick touchdown. But we've locked in. We did the things. We made the adjustments ourselves that we need to make, and the guys made their own adjustments out there on the field. With the job they're supposed to be doing, and I'm just proud of them. They have responded and fought, and hadn't got down when things have gone wrong.
Coach Short, you've had a chance to watch Ohatchee play this year. Kind of what your assessment, talking coach to coach here on Ohatchee?
Well, the hardest thing you're going to have now is, last year you ended up ending the year on a good note. Mm-hmm. But the kids, they hadn't won yet. I mean, They've won something. Now you're winning. It was easy to be the hunter.
Right.
Now you may be getting to the point where you're going to be hunted.
That's right.
And that's going to be your biggest challenge right now, is getting those kids to say, I remember now, guys, we're here.
Right.
And we're still there.
Right. Yeah, and that's the message. You come out of it tonight and say, hey, enjoy it for the weekend, but we'll be back Sunday. And once you get back Sunday, it's the film don't lie. And if you didn't do your job, you got to fix it. And we got to make those adjustments. And now it's a lot more fun to come and learn after a win.
Yes.
So that's something that has been better this year. We get to come in and we get to improve and learn, but after wins versus losses.
I come watched you practice one day and really enjoyed that, and watched you in a jamboree, and I've seen you in a real game. The biggest thing that I see is your kids are playing with a lot of confidence, and they're playing very physical.
Right.
And that's kind of been the Ohatchee way for years, is to play physical. And I maybe toward last year at the beginning it wasn't as physical, but y'all been able to keep that with a young football team.
Right.
Still a young football team.
Right. Well, this group has been together for a really long time, especially this junior group. And Jesse Baswell has been with that group for his whole career, being a senior. But it's been a group that's won for us. Since the time they came in 7th grade, they've been winners. They're used to winning, and so last year was a shock to not only our system as coaches, but also a shock to their system. Losing as many games, but they were able to fight and respond and come back and string a few wins there, together at the end of the year. But like I said, this group's been winners, and that's where that confidence comes from. You get to start fresh this year, a year older as juniors, and they're the leaders of the team now. Them along with our couple seniors.
I got a question. I got to ask you. And it could be planned, or you can just say yes, that was the plan, or it's just accidental. Because I know how kickers sometimes they just accidentally do things.
Right.
Last week, the week before, sacks, onside kick. Again, onside kick. I didn't get to see tonight, but did you have another onside kick tonight?
Yeah, we did. It's not. I'll say this: it's not necessarily meant as an onside kick. We're finding holes. We try to find. He's not a guy that's going to kick it in the end zone type thing. And so if you're not going to do that, we don't want to kick it, say, short to the 20-yard line and let them set up a return. So you try to find holes, and we try to squib it in holes. And sometimes it's a little shorter and looks like an onside kick, but most of the time it's just we're trying to find holes and
Well, if they return it to the 40 or you stop it at 40, it's still the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Except the way you're doing it, you got a chance to get
Sometimes
the ball.
we get the ball. Yeah,
That's right.
We've done it a couple times.
We're speaking with Chris Finley and our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser, head coach of the Ohatchee Indians. A huge win tonight over Westbrook Christian in Class 3A Region 6, 34-33 on the Creek Bank at Ohatchee. I think you've got, I called him this week a three-headed monster a little bit out there. Baswell, who you just mentioned. Right. But Jake Robertson at quarterback, and then you got Nate Jones, who people always tend to underestimate because he's not the biggest guy in the world. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's a very effective guy. One thing I think is kind of a misnomer. Ohatchee's had this tradition of, we're just going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball every play, and Ohatchee's never going to throw it. Right. But you have thrown some wrinkles in there. You're throwing the football a little bit this year. Tell us about that.
Right. So we believe in what we do, and I'll add a fourth. I'll add a fourth and call it a four-headed monster with Colby Hester at our wingback.
Yeah, Colby Hester.
And Colby's been a real weapon for us. But it's always that balance of we're going to do what we do. We want to be physical. We want to run the ball, and if we can run the ball and people can't stop it, that's what we're going to do. But you also want to balance that with who's your personnel, who are the guys you have. We have Jake, like we talked about this year, that can really throw the ball. We have Colby, who's a real natural receiver type kid. And then you've got a couple other weapons. Will Folsom comes in and helps us, and he's a weapon sometimes. Along with Jesse and with Nate. So, it's just finding that balance of doing what we want to do and being physical and keeping that mentality and keeping that, that character to us, but also playing to our strengths. And so that's where some of that comes in, where we mix it up a little bit.
Coach, I'm going to remind you, see if you remember. Back in your day, when a wingback could run the football, could be effective, it makes you dangerous.
It does.
It keeps everybody having to keep a couple of guys over there just in case it keeps the ball. Is that kind of maybe going there?
Yeah. 100%. You've got Jesse and Nate running strong all day and whatever. So get Colby coming back the other way.
You've seen a couple of wingbacks that can do that today.
I've seen a couple. I had Chris Evans there, so everybody was on this side. When I got the ball, it was green grass for days.
That's right.
Coach, what's the best thing that you feel like? I know you haven't looked at film, obviously, but just in your mind, you obviously had that 26-6 lead at one point. What's the best thing that you felt like your team did tonight?
I think we were physical. I think that's one of the best things we did tonight. I think that, especially in that first half, we were a little more physical and we were able to impose our will a little bit running the ball, and then even on defense, keeping them from running it. And Coach Smith is the best for a reason, and getting to halftime, and he made some adjustments, him and Coach Blanchard both on the offense and defensive side. And you knew they were going to, and you knew they were going to come back out and make this a game, because you've seen it. He creates that culture everywhere he goes. You've seen it so many times at Piedmont, whether it's regular season games or state championship games. You've seen them, and never give up, inch back in it, and end up taking over at the end. And you saw it coming, but between being physical and just responding when we had to. After everything went wrong, for a while there in the second half, it would be easy just to lay down and say, well, they got, this is their night. So. That's the other thing. I'm just proud of how we fought and responded right there at the end.
I'm going to bring Coach Short in on this too, because, Coach, there are a lot of regions, most regions in this state, 1A through 7A, you've got 3 or 4 weeks there where you maybe don't have to play your best and you can win. 3A Region 6, and this is not hyperbole, Coach knows this, you know this, this is not one of those regions where you can take any week off, and it doesn't get any easier because next week, if anything, it may get even tougher next week. Tell us about this region next week and just top to bottom your assessment of 3A Region 6, and we'll get Coach Short's perspective on this as well.
Well, you're right. There's no breaks. There's no easy games. There's no gimmies in this region. So we've got Sylvania next week, who was a semifinal team last year and graduated, I think, 1 starter. So they're an incredible football team, and they've showed it so far this year. In Piedmont after that, and Geraldine, after our non-region game against Jacksonville. So it's you're right. It doesn't get any easier for sure.
One of the things I think you'll find yourself having to do as the season goes along is you want to be physical and you want to be physical, but at your level, with the number of players you have, there isn't a game where you can take it easy.
Right.
So those days of taking it easy may have to be somewhere in practice, somewhere you can't beat that team to death. Because if you're going to play 7 or 8 region games that are that tough,
exactly.
I mean, you're going to have to find a place somewhere where you can be learning but not beating on each other.
And that's something that we started doing over the past couple of weeks is trying to get off our guys a little bit because it's the same guys and we play guys both ways and guys
and they
are
know
getting
how
beat
to
up.
hit. You already know.
And
that.
we already know they know how to hit. That's right. So we started taking it a little bit easier on them in practice and trying to be smart with it.
We talked a lot of football tonight, but we're more than just football here on After the Game. We're football focused, and we talk football when there's a chance to talk football. But I was out at the pep rally today, Team of the Week, and Coach Finley went into the refrigerator there in the field house, and he brought out not one but 2. Look at this right here, 2 Butterfinger cakes. If you watched our show last year, you know that Coach Short ate the whole pan just about by himself. So he has been requesting for the last year, basically, that we have some more Butterfinger cake. And let me make an important observation about this Butterfinger cake. This is actually prepared by your wife,
Correct.
Lauren.
Yes.
And she made a lot of friends. We're going to bring her in here. Come on in here, Lauren. I'm going to move over here just a little bit. So tell us about, is this a secret recipe?
Well, I have to brag on Chris's grandmother. This is her recipe, and his mom gave it to me so I could make it for y'all. And we appreciate y'all and all you do for our guys, and thank y'all for coming out and giving them the teas and the trophy and all that. So we wanted to make you a cake.
Oh, awesome. Coach, look at there. Have you had some? We got 2 of these.
How do you not weigh 300 pounds?
I'm working on it. We're getting there.
It was hard not to dig into them when we made them.
Well, the smell right now is just astounding. I mean, see,
the taste is even better.
Well, okay. I'm going to hand this.
That emptiness there, I've already got a hold of it.
I'm going to hand this off to Coach over here while I ask Coach Finley a question. Now,
see
today, Lauren, I asked Coach, I said, gave him a little preview. We always ask a fun question. And I said, does Lauren, is she a cook? Does she cook things besides just the Butterfinger cake?
Oh, Lord.
And here's the word, Coach, that he used with me to describe Lauren. Chef.
Oh, God.
The word chef.
You also are a smart man, too.
That's exactly right.
Mama didn't teach no food,
That's
did
right.
she?
So Coach Finley, what I've got to ask here is, of all the things that she prepares, you've been thinking about this since this afternoon. Of all the things that you prepare, I asked Coach to share with us tonight, what is the one favorite Lauren Finley dish? So what is it, Coach?
It's got to be the homemade pasta. So
homemade
as
pasta.
a gift, I bought her a cooking class and we both went and learned how to make homemade pasta from scratch and a couple different styles. And so I think that's one of her favorite things to cook too. So
is there a certain
that's
night
the best.
that y'all do that, like maybe a Monday night or Tuesday night or whatever?
Maybe every night.
Just let me know.
We have people over. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
I got your
that's
number.
usually the
Okay.
go-to.
But also one thing to know about him is he's the most competitive person you will ever meet, which is why he's a good football coach. And he likes to tell me he is becoming the chef of the household.
Yeah.
So I will say he's
coming.
working on a really good, he does a great Boston Bud almost every Sunday. So
Wow, okay,
he's
we're
really
going back the
great
other
at
way with it.
breakfast,
Let him do
so-
that. Let him cook more.
Yeah, it's great.
Y'all have a problem, you know this. You're going to have a tough time keeping him away from your house and being in your kitchen.
You're welcome
He's going to camp out in your kitchen all the time. So now tell me about last question before we go. Y'all tell us about the pasta. What's the ingredients? What kind of pasta are we talking?
It's super easy. It's literally flour, eggs, olive oil, and salt. And you just mix it up. We have a little machine, and it kind of does it for us. And he helps me, and I make a mess, and he cleans it up.
I love Italian food, so I'm huge with that.
I got to ask one more question.
Yes.
The earrings, the purse. I mean, you can tell you
Oh,
are a,
Lord,
you are
I
a
didn't
coach's
notice
wife.
this. Yeah.
Look at the purse right there. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, I like to dress the part, you know.
I'm not a fashion person, but I'll tell you, that's the best purse I've ever seen.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Super practical.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much, Lauren, for providing our, Coach Short, if he'll share it with us, the rest of our staff here with a Butterfinger cake. Coach, congratulations on the big win tonight, a huge win that I'm sure the folks in Ohatchee will be talking about for a long time, the way it unfolded. We want to talk about Noble Bank and Trust as we go to break. This is our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. Hometown banking, Noble Bank and Trust. When you walk in, you're going to be greeted with a smile, friendly face, people that know you, locations all across East Alabama, and also at the Summit in Birmingham as well. Noble Bank and Trust, Welcome to Personal Banking, bringing you all of our interviews on Friday nights throughout the high school football season and after the game with our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. You've seen some highlights. You're going to see a lot more highlights as we roll on a football Friday night on After the Game.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Ted's Floors and Beyond, they now offer cabinets from Welborn Cabinet. They're your home for a complete kitchen or bathroom makeover. Not just floors, beyond. All kinds of things. A large selection of products, including hundreds of in-stock items. They have hardwood, laminate, tile, carpet, luxury vinyl, cabinets, countertops, 0% interest financing for 12 months, all day, every day, and free in-home estimates. I've dealt with the folks at Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm sure Chad probably has. I know Coach has. Fantastic folks. You can follow them on social media and visit shopteds.com. That's shopteds.com. Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission on this football Friday night. Time now for our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. And today we were at a impromptu pep rally in the gym at Jacksonville High School for our Player of the Week from last week, Jim Ogle of the Jacksonville Golden Eagles. Guys, last Friday night in that home win against Alexandria, 19 out of 26 throwing the football, 404 yards and 5 touchdowns in that game against Alexandria. You see the Jacksonville Golden Eagle team coming in here, guys, and we're presenting not only a nice plaque courtesy of Awards to Remember in Farmers and Merchants Bank, but also we got that cool team sports jersey that's personalized, has the name of the player on the back, has Ogle on the back. We presented that to Jim Ogle today up at Jacksonville. Guys, we're going to talk about this guy for a long time to come. I think already a true legend in high school football here in East Alabama.
Oh, no doubt. And I got to watch him again tonight, and he had another night tonight. Don't have his stats yet, but he had at the Handley game tonight, he kept him in the game.
Coach, before we get into some highlights here with Chad, you went to that game down in Roanoke tonight. Kind of give us the time you were there, a brief synopsis of the game, because it was wild all night long from what we understand.
Yeah, it went 3 hours. And a lot of that wasn't so much that Jacksonville threw the ball so much, it was the amount of penalties. I mean, each team probably, it seemed like the first half, Handley got penalized every time they turned around at penalty, penalty, penalty. In the second half, it was Jacksonville getting penalty, penalty, penalty. So the game was marred by a lot of penalties, but when it all came down to it, it probably ended the way it should have ended. Not maybe who won the game, but just coming right down to the last snap. I mean, that's the kind of game it was. Both teams were back and forth, making big plays. Handley's quarterback made big plays. Ogle made big plays. It was just a great game to watch, a very fun game to watch.
Yeah, Handley in that game, they won it 32-24. But Jacksonville had a chance. They were coming down the field in Handley territory. Jim Ogle was sacked on the final play that they had, the fourth down play with 35 seconds to go in the game to preserve the win for Handley in that top 10 matchup down at right field in Roanoke. Chad Barnett joins us for the first time tonight. Chad's been working hard behind the scenes, lots of video to edit going on tonight. Our first stop with highlights going to be a game that my crew was at out at Lou Scales Stadium in Alexandria. Number 5 team in the state in Class 5A, the Moody Blue Devils, in town, the home opener for Alexandria.
Alexandria starting off this season 0-2, but not too much to really think about that because both those losses were outside of region play. But that would change tonight as region foe Moody would come into Death Valley looking to move to 3-0 on the season. As you mentioned, John, number 5 in the state, and they are a good football team. They're charging out in the Valley tonight. Let's see how they fared against the Valley Cubs, and we will start out in the highlights. That is Moody's Kadarius Barnes with a 40-yard run over the left side, setting it up with a first down inside Alexandria territory. Next play, Charles Johnson with a 12-yard pass to Josiah Dozier. Another first down for the Blue Devils. Charles Johnson now back to pass, 26-yard connection to Aiden Robinson for the touchdown. 7-0 Moody on top of Alexandria with 7:09 in the first quarter. Alexandria, Elijah Hunter with a 15-yard scamper over the left side as he's pushed out of bounds. There's Todd Ginn fired up. Hey, that looks a little bit more like his dad every day, doesn't he?
Does.
Man, he really does. Moody back on offense. This is going to be a punt return after Alexandria would stall on downs, and it's going to be a nice return. 24 yards by Kadarius Barnes. I've said that name a couple of times here so far as Moody would be set up at midfield. Then Caden Cofield is going to take it in from 5 yards out. Devils on top now 14-0 as the final seconds would tick off the first quarter. Alexandria Cole Wheeler, 23-yard pass to Elijah Hunter. They're going to call this a completion. I'm not sure where the ball was, but they did call it complete. It would set up this 49-yard attempt by Clete Forrest. Almost there. No good, as it would fall just short. Our crew would leave tonight 14-0, Moody leading, and they won't go on to win 42-7.
And guys, as we understand it, Moody was without 3 players. Amon Lane, the great defensive back, one of the top DBs in the state, already committed to play for the Auburn Tigers, did not dress tonight. They had a couple other players, college prospects. I think a player that's committed to Coastal Carolina, who Jack State plays tomorrow night, that was not dressed tonight, and they still won the game 42-7. Watching Alexandria for the first time this year, you know, guys, especially at the high school level, at the college level, senior, freshman, physically there may not be that big of a difference. But when you're looking at the high school level and you got a lot of juniors and seniors as opposed to freshmen and sophomores, there's a big physical difference. And physically tonight, you could see that difference between Moody and Alexandria.
It's hard to make that up, right?
Yeah, not only physically, but the physical side of it, but the mental side of it. You know, so a lot of kids, when you're a 9th grader, 10th grader, something goes bad, they have to learn how to overcome that. Sometimes learning to overcome it's in a loss. But who in the world has played a schedule like Alexandria has played so far?
Pretty tough.
First 3 are all top 10 people.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody else has had to do that, but they have. And I think because of what they're doing, it looks like maybe going toward a youth movement out there. It's only going to make them better for the future, as long as they just keep holding on, and they will. because they're Alexandria, and they're going to do what they're supposed to do. Those kids are going to come on. They're going to be okay.
I understand we've got both of our region rundowns presented by the folks at Team One Chevrolet in Gadsden for the Class 5A regions here in East Alabama. And so this is the first week of region play, so these region standings become very important. So we're going to look at those. We'll begin with Class 5A Region 4. Clay Central, very impressive tonight against a struggling Tallahassee team. Sylacauga last night lost to an Elmore County team, which might be the surprise team in the state in Class 5A so far. And Valley and Beauregard, you know, everybody was talking about Beauregard. Beauregard was a state-ranked team. They lose tonight to Valley. I think, Coach, there's a clear separation. The top three, Valley, Elmore County, Central of Clay County, really been very impressive here in the early going. Looks like right now Beauregard, guys, might be that 4 team. Anyway, some combination of those 4 teams at the top probably going to be hold throughout the rest of the season, I think.
Well, I would say the top's already figured out. I'm going to go with them right now. In Elmore County, unless I'm mistaken, I may be, but Elmore County's coach is a Clay County guy.
Yes.
And, you know, he went to West Alabama and played quarterback there, and he's back there now, and they're starting to score a lot of points. That will be interesting when Central Clay and Elmore County play each other. That'll be a big ball game.
I think he's a Dadeville guy, so close. But Elmore County
Maybe.
was very impressive. A very impressive win last night against Sylacauga at 35-7 at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. But I'm with you, Coach. Central Clay County, we've heard before about people that were going to supposedly challenge them in that region, and it just doesn't happen. And Clay Central wins big tonight as they went over Tallahassee 41-7. Let's go to Class 5A Region 6. And this region, we found out a lot, I think, tonight. We know Moody's still good. We found out tonight that Southside, even without Gage Neesmith, is still very good. An impressive win at Lincoln tonight. Leeds showing some life, went into Springville and beat a good Springville team this evening. St. Clair County had an open date, but this region, I think, guys, is probably a bit more balanced than it was last year. It seems to be.
It is, and I actually think Springville is going to be better toward the end of the season than what most people think. I think they're a much improved team, even though they're 0-1 tonight, but I think they're very much improved. When you look at Southside, what they've done this week, you know, having to come back from losing their quarterback. I also know Lincoln tonight had 3 or 4 kids that started and didn't play also. One of them was a running back. So you never know this time of the year who's playing, who's not playing. A lot of times we find out after the ball game who didn't play that night.
Yeah, it's a hard-fought game tonight for sure. That's the second game I went to tonight. But I tell you, Southside really impressed with not only just the mental fortitude of losing a quarterback. Such, you know, you got your school all-time leading passer. He goes down with an injury, and they're able to regroup and really lean on that run game tonight. Their offensive line is really big, really strong, and they pushed around Lincoln sometimes. But I tell you, the Golden Bears didn't really have a lot of talk coming into the season really much, but they looked really tough tonight. They played very strong on that front line and didn't like just take the punches. They were delivering blows too tonight.
You saw, Chad, and we'll see highlights of this game coming up. You'll have the highlights. I think that was a really big game tonight for both Southside and for Lincoln. Nobody's out of this thing yet. Even St. Clair County this year has shown some signs of life, even though they went 0-10 last year. I think we're going to see a few surprises along the way. Last year, it was kind of Leeds and Moody at the top, and they played for the region title game. It was a 1-point game. But I'm not sure there's a big degree of separation now at the top between Leeds and Moody and these other teams. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of upsets in this region before the season's over with.
If I had to bet, I'll go with Leeds, and the only reason why is because of the experience of the coaching staff.
Hard to beat. Well, guys, we've got more highlights coming up, but first it's time for our next Red Threads Extra Point of the night. We bring you 4 of those every football Friday night, courtesy of the folks at Red Threads. Here it is. Guys, you remember back a couple weeks ago, I told you that Barber County had the longest losing streak in the state. On the field losing streak had reached 78 games. Last Friday night, Barber County defeated Calhoun out of Leetahatchee 12-6. It was the school's first on-the-field win since October 18th of 2013, almost 10 years. The winning streak officially ended at 66 in a row in the 2021 season opener when Stewart Quitman, Georgia, forfeited, but that's not on the field. This win last week against Calhoun was on the field. The Jaguars back in 2021 forfeited the next game, lost the remaining 9 contests in 21, finished 0-10 last year. had not won a game the first couple weeks this year, but they beat Calhoun last week 12-6, and a huge win for the Barber County Jaguars. We'll be back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
RMC Health System bringing you the RMC Media Center. We are coming to you live tonight from the RMC Media Center here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Anniston. I want to thank RMC and Parker partnering together, because Parker Memorial, they welcome our cheerleaders in, they welcome our guests in, make them feel welcome, give them some snacks, give them some waters when they come in, and really make them feel welcome into the RMC Media Center here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Anniston. By the way, this is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in September, and RMC Urology is offering free prostate cancer screenings during the month of September as part of RMC Foundation's Early Detection Connection program. To get that free prostate screening, 237-6717. That's 237-6717. Bring it back here. It's time now for more team sports highlights on this football Friday night. Team Sports bringing you all our highlights of games across East Alabama. Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett join us back here on the set. Going to take you now just up the street from our RMC Media Center, literally a few blocks, Watt Mosby Memorial Stadium tonight. A key game in Class 4A Region 4. Munford had 2 weeks to get ready for this. Anniston trying to bounce back after a tough loss last week down at Andalusia, 39-0. Anniston and Munford tonight at Watt Mosby, Chad.
Yeah, both Anniston and Munford both coming off tough losses, looking to get back into the win column. The good news for Anniston, though, they had won their last 3 against the Munford Lions. Could they continue that streak against the Lions tonight? And let's go out to Watt Mosby Stadium to check out the highlights. We arrived second quarter, 22-7. Anniston was leading. And let's go to the highlights real quick. And BJ Anderson, quarterback for the Munford Lions, intercepted by Jaden Dobbins, who's going to take it 56 yards before. This is not going to be good. His dad, Charles, you're not going to like seeing that one. Got a tough shot, but hey, he finished the play. 22-7, they're still leading. We're going to see more from Dobbins in a minute. Halftime, the 22-7 still the score. Michael Easley, head coach of the Munford Lions, hoping his team can come back from the deficit. Munford 4th and goal at the Anniston 4. Dakota Frank's field goal is blocked. Big play by the Bulldogs as they stiffen down by the goal line. Anniston's Quinn Sykes now for a 10-yard gain. Gavin Doss, 41-yard pass to, guess who? Jaden Dobbins. Young man with a beautiful catch. Staring him down just to make sure everybody recognizes that he did catch that ball. Next play, Anniston QB sneak. Gavin Doss in for the touchdown. 2-point conversion is good. No good. Our crew left with Anniston leading 28-7. The final 47-14. Side note, I got to see Jaden Dobbins basically grow up. I coached his son, or his brother, Jordan Dobbins, who graduated Oxford, won the state championship with him. Great young man. Always knew he was going to be a phenomenal athlete. He's showing it now for the Anniston Bulldogs tonight.
He had a big game tonight for the Bulldogs in the time that our crew was there. Nice coach bounce back victory for Anniston. In the second half, everything that could go wrong went wrong for them last week at Andalusia. They had a punt. Somehow, after a punt, Andalusia began a drive at the Anniston 19-yard line. After another punt, an Anniston punt, it went up in the air, bounced backwards, went into the end zone, and Andalusia fell in for a touchdown, which I don't think I've ever seen that happen. So the punting game was tough. Things kind of unraveled on them. So you wondered, how was Anniston going to respond coming back home to take on Munford? Coach, they answered the horn very well tonight.
They did, and I have to give credit to their coaching staff for being able to pull those kids back together because, in a top 10 matchup like that, and you're going on the road to Andalusia to a team that you felt like you should have beaten the year before, but they still beat you, a lot of times that plays tricks to your head. So being able to come back and make those plays, and I talked to their coach a while ago, and he said, talk about Jaden Lewis, Gavin Doss, the Dobbins kid, several kids tonight. He talked about how they really came together, were leaders in practice this week, and did the things they needed to have done, in order for them to win.
A little bit of a game coming up next week. We talk about rivals. I said that Alexandria and Jacksonville are probably the biggest rival in the county. Right there with it is Anniston and Jacksonville next Friday night up at Golden Eagle Stadium, guys. An important game. This, with Hanley's win tonight over Jacksonville, this is going to be a huge game as far as home field advantage in the playoffs. And being in the South, and the way it is this year, the way the brackets match up, it's 1 versus 4. So if you're on the road, you're going to Mobile in the first round. So this is a big game coming up at Golden Eagle Stadium next week.
Without a doubt, biggest game of the year, and those coaching staffs know it. Because who wins this ball game is going to be in the driver's seat, not going to say, but they'll be in the driver's seat to be sitting there in second place, and that keeps you at home. You do not want to have to go down there and eat shrimp and go to the Mobile, to the Bay, and play.
Well, I want to go eat shrimp, Coach.
Yeah,
that's a
but
good thing.
If you don't want to do that ride, because
you don't go 6 hours to eat shrimp.
You don't want to go 6 hours, and got just had to lift it tonight. The kid from Munford tonight, Tank Edmondson, had 186 yards rushing tonight. B.J. Anderson had 103 yards passing, and it's just a great night for a couple of those guys. They had a good night also.
Guys, time to go back one last time to our scoreboard as our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. We'll catch up quickly on all the final scores across East Alabama. Sylvania knocking off Piedmont 23-7. Ragland routing Donahoe tonight 66-0. Oxford blows out Shades Valley on the road in Irondale 42-13. You saw the Anniston score as Anniston beat Munford 47-14. Anniston 47, Munford 14, the final in that game. Also tonight, we'll try to play catch up a little bit here. Anniston over Munford 47-14. There it is. Beulah tonight upending Sachs. I think that's a big upset. 38-24 this evening. Ohatchee, you saw the highlights of that game earlier. Coach Chris Finley was with us. Ohatchee turning away Westbrook Christian at the end of the game, 34-33. Moody, you saw the highlights earlier, beating Alexandria 42-7. Dadeville squeezes past Weaver 26-20 tonight. We talked about that Hanley win over Jacksonville 32-24. Pleasant Valley, a huge win over West End 34-14. Highlights of that game on the way. Cleveland County tonight goes to 2-0. 42-13 winners at Talladega. Ranburne doubles up Fayetteville 38-19. Number 1 and 2A BB Comer routing Woodland 45-0. Randolph County remains unbeaten 38-28 winners at Childersburg tonight. Wadley rolls over Spring Garden 41-7. Same score, Central Clay County over Tallahassee 41-7. Last night, Elmore County beat Sylacauga 35-7. Tomorrow night, Oklahoma School for the Deaf will play at ASD in Talladega. This is a new score. Finally, this score just coming in. Victory Christian tonight. They have beaten Talladega County Central 51-7 over in Pell City. Victory 51, TCC 7. Southside beats Lincoln. We'll have highlights of that game coming. 29-8 tonight at Lincoln. Clay Chalkville shuts down Pell City 46-7. Leads a winner over Springville 23-7. The Etowah Blue Devils with Blake Bone at the helm with the administrative leave of Matt Glover as head coach. He leads the team into Asheville tonight. They beat the Bulldogs 42-13. Pisgah routing Sandrock 50-7. Cherokee County with a shutout over Good Hope 35-0. Last night, Coosa Christian beat Galesville 49-0. Tonight, Woodville for the first time ever beating Cedar Bluff 38-27. Their first win in 16 tries against the Tigers. Southeastern beats Gaston 46-0. We'll have highlights of this game coming. Hoax Bluff rolling over Glencoe 47-7. Gadsden City, big win tonight in Newmarket against Buckhorn 49-14. Statewide scores in Class 2A. Highland Home doubles up Goshen 42-21. Gulf Shores, a huge win at Faith Academy in Mobile 31-16. Saraland. When's the last time anybody's beaten St. Paul's 47-3? I don't know if that's happened in my adult lifetime. Number 1 Saraland beats St. Paul's 47-3 tonight in Mobile. Number 1 in 7A Thompson beats Vestavia Hills 21-3. Central of Phoenix City. Maybe a Central Saraland matchup. That might be the two best teams in the state. Central goes to Bill Bacon Stadium at Enterprise and they rout number 3 Enterprise 48-7. And also tonight, Mary Montgomery, maybe the surprise team in the Gulf Coast, coming on strong tonight at home in Sims, where they were winners over Foley by a score of 28-7. Team Sports bringing you the highlights here every football Friday night. Team Sports is located on McClellan. They service over 100 schools, a lot of local schools as well. They provide all sporting good needs, not only to schools, but they have a storefront that's going to open at McClellan very soon. They have apparel, jerseys, accessories, equipment, everything from score books and jerseys to basketball goals and tackling dummies. They're locally family owned and operated. They bring you the Team Sports jersey for our F&M Bank Player of the Week, that customized jersey that we've handed out the last couple of weeks. Team Sports bringing you high school football, Alabama's highlights. And we'll have more Team Sports highlights coming up as we roll on a Football Friday night.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number. You're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
USA Softball of Alabama bringing you our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard every Friday night here on After the Game. Visit USA Softball of Alabama's Facebook page to take advantage of their fall package deal where you can play an unlimited number of Saturday-only tournaments for just $500 per team. Here's the deal. The deadline is Sunday. The deadline is this Sunday, September 10th. To sign up, go to the USA Softball of Alabama Facebook page. Back on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder in with you on the Football Friday Night with Coach Michael Short and Chad Barnett. We're going to talk about the Ohatchee and Westbrook game. We saw some highlights earlier kind of running while we talked with Coach Chris Finley. But you were there early on, and the time that you were there on the Creek Bank early in the game, it was all Ohatchee.
I walked away thinking it was going to be a big win for Ohatchee. It was not, but we'll look at the highlights. Definitely one of the biggest matchups tonight in the area. Westbrook Christian coming in to the Creek Bank 1-0 under new head coach Steve Smith. Meanwhile, the Indians 2-0, looking for revenge. They lost this game last year 35-13. We'll see if this has any effect on the game. Early on, it was defense, defense, defense. As you can see, both really bowing up against the run, and it would stay that way until Westbrook's second play from scrimmage. LaMichael Mitchell is going to change the entire complexion of this game with one crossing pattern. He's going to take it to the house, 81 yards for the touchdown. Warriors going to take a 6-0 lead because they're going to go for the PAT here in just a minute, and they're going to see a botch snap on this. Great job by the holder to get out there and at least make it an effort to get it into the end zone, but that's going to be an incomplete pass, so it's 6-0 in favor of the Warriors early on. But then it was all Ohatchee for the rest of the time we were there. Colby Hester, I tell you, the runs were really strong in the first half. This one right at you, that was inches from my knee, Coach. Inches from my knee, and I'm old. It would have not been good, but I'm good. And so was Hester. He would get up later and have a couple big runs later in the drive. Nathan Jones with a big first down run. Now they go back to the ground again. This time it's Jesse Baswell. Long hair, the locks flowing into the end zone, touchdown Ohatchee. They would go for the extra point as well. It would be no good. And we talked about the kicking game a little bit. It's not really a strategy for the onside kick necessarily, but it does not go the way of the Indians. Westbrook would take over at midfield. They could not get anything done. The Indians defense would again bow up and stall the Warriors. This is when it gets interesting. A muffed punt snap, and then it's a block. So Hatchie with a big play on special teams. Chris Finley, hey son, it's great, but if you could just scoop it and score it next time, make my job a whole lot easier. That's what he's telling his offense as they come off the sideline. Hester again coming around the left side. They love that play, and it worked to a charm in the first half. This time it's going to be more from the offense. This time a beautiful pass inside the 10 as Hester now catches one and puts them in nice field position for another big run by Baswell. This time left side again. He's in there for the score. Ohatchee, again, that train is just churning. They're looking really strong at this point. 2-point conversion, and that would be good as well. More Braswell right up the gut, and that would be a 2-point conversion good. And Ohatchee, when we left, were really strong. They did get the win, but man, it was oh so close tonight. 34-33 on the Creek Bank.
Failed 2-point conversion with 30 seconds to go in the game is all that kept Westbrook from possibly winning that game. We talked a lot about that game with Chris Finley earlier, the head coach of the Ohatchee Indians. I was at the pep rally today. You know, earlier this summer, connecting the pep rally to what I'm about to say, earlier this summer, they were filming a movie here in Alabama, and Matthew McConaughey was in the movie, and Kirk Douglas was in the movie, and I'm telling you, Jesse Baswell, I saw him today with his helmet off. He looks just like Kirk Douglas. He probably doesn't know who that is.
I have no idea who that is, yeah.
But Kirk Douglas was in Alabama filming this movie, and I'm telling you, this is like a young Kirk Douglas, and he had a big night tonight.
He's got the locks flowing, man.
Yeah, he does.
We're a little jealous.
Yeah, he
don't have that.
Ted, I got to give you credit. you was about to give up your body in order to
I
get
was.
a great picture.
I was.
Great video right there. I had to give you credit.
You got to open
wise.
up. You got to open up both eyes when that's coming at you like that, because you got to take your eye out of the. Anyway.
I was about to say, it seemed like Colby Hester seemed to have a kind of a magnet over there toward you for a couple of plays.
It took him a second to get up on that one. They did have to pull him out of the game because when he hit hard.
He did.
And he was making some noises down there like he was not feeling good. But hey, tip your cap to him. He got back up. A few plays later, he's right back there in the game.
Let's look at our 3A regions here in East Alabama. 2 3A regions, one in the south, one in the north. We've got the updated region rundown from Team 1 Chevrolet in Gadsden. This is the great thing. No one else does this. This is updated region standings in real time on Friday nights after the game. And here's what we got going on with the first night of region play. Who would have thought that in 3A Region 4, Beulah would be at the top? Beulah beat Sachs tonight. They finished last in this region. After 1 week of region play with that win over Sachs tonight, they are first. Dadeville, Randolph County. Walter Welborn had an open date. They did not play tonight. And then Childersburg, Sachs, and Weaver fall tonight. So still a lot to be decided in that region. But right now, Beulah making a little noise in Class 3A Region 4.
They can make some noise, but I'm still going to go with Randolph County. But I do just say some prayers tonight. I'm going to mention a name. One of the running backs got carted off in an ambulance. I don't think it's serious, but they had to take him off the field. That'll be interesting going forward. They've got a couple of kids that can run, but I still think it's Randolph County there. But like I said, you got 4 or 5 people. I mean, there's several people in there that can get some upsets. Just like I think Weaver at the bottom, before it's all said and done, is going to upset somebody.
Yeah, I think they almost did it tonight. They were right in there with Dadeville. That was a 20-20 game. Dadeville scored and won the game 26-20 there at the end. 3A Region 6, this is the region we talked with Coach Finley about. Wow. Look at what Hokes Bluff, maybe the most, Sylvania had a very impressive win over Piedmont tonight. No doubt about it, 23-7. An impressive win by Ohatchee tonight. But I'll tell you, maybe the most impressive win in this region was Hokes Bluff and what they did to Glencoe tonight, 47-7. Highlights of that game coming up here on After the Game in just a few moments.
Just knowing the rivalry, and a lot of times that game is, it's not that score, and it's nothing like it. And I bet you if we talked to Coach Rob today, so all this things went our way, and they turned it over 5 times, and we were just very fortunate to get there. But that's again, like you said, John, it is a very impressive win for Hokes Bluff. Not only that they won, but how they went about winning in the score.
Now, look at that. Overall, Geraldine and Ohatchee and Sylvania, all 3 undefeated. And look at the one team in the region that doesn't have a win. the Piedmont Bulldogs.
We're seeing a little bit of that there. There's a few blue bloods out there over the last 20 years that have got off to kind of slow start. Sachs and now Piedmont. I mean, there's a couple teams that are kind of top is bottom is up. It just doesn't make sense. They'll get it figured out.
In fairness to Piedmont, they are taking. Sylvania could very easily be the North representative in 3A before it's over, and Cherokee County very easily could be the 4A representative out of the North. So those two losses are a little bit deceiving. They may have played the best 3A and 4A team in North Alabama when it's all said and done.
And they're playing with a new coaching staff and a lot of young players.
Exactly right. Team One Chevrolet bringing you Region Rundown here on After the Game. More highlights coming your way. We've got our East Alabama Top 10. Team of the Week is all coming up. More region breakdowns. We're with you until past midnight right here on Facebook and YouTube.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, a place to use the gifts and talents God has given you, a place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Aniston. Visit our website for details.
Pee Wee Turner Motors, located on South Quintard Avenue in Aniston, is the area's longest established used car dealer. It began all back in 1969, and over 50 years later, thousands of satisfied customers. They are still going strong, selling quality late model vehicles. Their friendly staff will help you purchase that vehicle you've been looking for. And let me tell you about their rental division. They'll help you rent a car or a Penske moving truck or even a Cruise America RV for that fun getaway. They got some great looking RVs down there on South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. 512 South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. You can give them a phone call at 256-237-4649. That's 237-4649. Back on After the Game, high school football Alabama, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett with us. We've got more teen sports highlights coming. Chad, where are we going?
Let's go to Lincoln.
Lincoln.
How about that? We good with that? Everybody good with Lincoln?
Yeah.
Let's do Lincoln.
Lincoln and Southside.
All right,
Take us to Keith Howard
story
Memorial
tonight,
Stadium.
really, guys, was the fact that their quarterback, Neesmith, is not there. He got injured last weekend. He's out for the season, so they're entering in a brand new system because this guy was the leading, school-leading passer in the history. So it's always tough to replace that, and the Southside Panthers would come out and do very well in his stead as we go out at the highlights in Lincoln. We'll pick up the highlights in the second quarter, 16-8. One of the main reasons they did well tonight was because the defense stepped up for Southside. Lincoln on a 4th and 9 to continue the drive. They pick it up. But there you see Justin Bowen, former Oxford guy, now the defensive coordinator at Southside, trying to get his team into it. And I want you all to watch this. I wish we had time to slow-mo this. Silas Osborne. That is a massive play for Southside. Diving interception inside the 10 as the moments would expire in the first half. There you see the quarterback, Neesmith, on the sideline. Very impressed with him tonight, guys. He was coaching from the sideline. You saw him talking to Jordan Bryan, who is the quarterback for Southside. And they didn't have any gloves here on it, like you kick gloves on him. He's throwing from out of his end zone with 30 seconds to go in the half. They really allowed him to play. Little side note here, away from the game. Young man in the dead center there. This is actually my cousin. This is Keenan Dabbs. Cousin, my folks are all from Lincoln. You don't know that probably. There's all the talent right there. So anyway, so I just wanted to get him a little love out there. But I tell you, Bryan back on offense the third quarter now. It is a beautiful pass down the sideline. He would hit his spots, but I tell you, the main chug in this offense was number one. Y'all, Mason Teague. We talk about who's a kid from Cherokee County, Cornejo. This kid's impressive. This kid can really run the ball. He's strong. He's fast. He's athletic. He does it all right now for Southside, and he was huge. I think he had a few hundred yards per game the first 2 games. Tonight he was held just over 100. This is the big 4th and goal from the 1. Lincoln, I tell you, they stepped up, played really strong defensively here. It took Southside all 4 tries from inside the 2. Teague does put it in there for the touchdown. As you can see, the Southside defense bowing up one more time with the deflected pass. More defense, this time a gang tackle. Just a host of Panthers in the white jerseys. They played really strong tonight on the road. It was just a great battle between both teams. Lincoln had 3 possessions inside the red zone tonight, only converted once. Southside with not only 1 pick, but 2 picks, one with a pick 6, which is how Southside got some of their points. So it's going to look a little lopsided on the score when you get it. It's going to be, I think, 29-7 or 29-8, maybe the final score. But the bottom line is Lincoln played extremely tough, and Southside really stepped up with the defense. And that's how they won tonight. Defense, run game, and the Bryan kid came in at QB and looked pretty solid in his attempts.
Chad and Coach, I was impressed, I'll tell you, by the coaching job by Miles Holcomb and his staff at Southside, because you lose a guy who was an all-state quarterback, really great quarterback, leading passer in Southside history, and you lose your field general right off the bat in really week 2 of the season. And then you have a road game against Lincoln. Everybody's talking about losing your quarterback. It's a region game. Lincoln's really hungry. Had this game circled in their calendar for a long time. And boy, Southside really answered the bell tonight. Coach and Chad, I think the coaching job done by Southside, that entire staff over there was really good this week.
Excellent. And from the video that I just watched, 3 of the 4 plays was the running back. They got back there and direct snap to the running back and let him run the football. So that was probably something they've done before in a goal line situation. They may have to do more of it as the year goes by. And I bet the kid's athletic enough that's actually number 1, I think it was running back. They direct snapped it to him a couple of times. I bet he can throw it some too. Probably. So I bet eventually, if they're going to keep direct snapping to him, he'll actually have to throw the ball some too. So credit to both of them, both teams. I think both teams are going to come up with some upsets. And I know, like I said, they lost their quarterback, but I still think Southside is one of the teams there. They're probably sitting there looking now, we got to figure out a way to get in the playoffs and maybe get in there and get a home field advantage.
Chad, it didn't look like there's any panic from your video on that south side sideline tonight?
None. I mean, you got a team that scored over 350 points last year, and they come in, and I was most impressed with the pass with 30 seconds to go in the first half. You could have easily turned the ball over with a young quarterback, easily turned it over, threw a pick across the middle or something like that, and given Lincoln another good shot to score. And they didn't hesitate. They had him throwing from that spot, and I think that shows a lot of maturity. That they believe in this kid in order to, let him do his thing in a tough spot.
I mean, you got to show. I mean, if that had been later in the season,
even that right there, that they could have just downed it and they could have eased out of the half and then went to the break and then called it a day.
But later in the season, they may have. But being early in the season, we got to go ahead and show this kid. We got nothing to lose. We got to show him we trust him to do that. You mentioned Justin Bowen and you mentioned Oxford. Where'd that kid go to high school at?
Alexandria.
There's a bunch of those Alexandria kids coaching all over this place.
I saw him on the sideline, and I said, I just left your boy, Finley, in Ohatchee. He's doing well over there. He said, how they doing? I said, well, when I left, they were doing really well. So.
And then right across the road over there, at White Plains, they didn't play tonight, but still, there's another one too. They're all over the place.
Yep.
Blake Jennings out at White Plains had an open date tonight. Guys, Monday is an important day because the Monday's not only 22nd anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, but here locally, it's the kickoff, football-wise, of the season for the Calhoun County Quarterback Club. They're going to kick it off at the Aniston Country Club with one of the voices that is very familiar to Alabama Crimson Tide fans, Chris Stewart, voice of Alabama basketball. He'll be doing half of the Alabama football games this year's play-by-play on the Crimson Tide Sports Network for the road games. Chris Stewart will kick things off coming up, and then look at that. You got folks like look at the big names. Big names like Jason Campbell, John Hanna, Trent Dilfer, Mark Jones.
Look,
Greg Seitz.
You should go October 16th just to see how big John Hanna is in person.
And he don't get through that door.
He is a large man.
One of the greatest offensive linemen of all time. If you want to be a member, it's open to anyone. If you want to be a member of that, contact Kevin Gibson at 256-453-4886, kicking off on Monday. Time for our next Red Threads Extra Point of the night. Geraldine's 17-6 win over Fife last Friday night marked the second Bulldog victory over the Red Devils in the last 3 meetings. Both wins ended the longest winning streak in the state at the time. The 20-19 win in 2021 ended Fife's 52-game win streak, which was also the longest in the nation at the time. And last Friday's victory ended a 15-game Red Devil winning streak. As if that rivalry needed anything else, Geraldine given 5 fits 2 out of the last 3 years. We'll be back with more highlights, our East Alabama Top 10, and our Team of the Week, all coming up.
Stop. These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I can instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Aniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Well, if you love football and you love to tailgate, Team One Chevy in Gadsden has the perfect tailgate vehicle for you. It is right now. It could be a new Chevy Silverado, a Tahoe, maybe a Suburban. Plus, right now, you can register to win a huge Auburn or Alabama tailgate package with a huge school tent, school chairs, and much more. Just register to win at Team One Chevy, 413 East Megan Boulevard in East Gadsden. Team One Chevrolet bringing you our region rundown, and we'll have a couple more region rundowns coming in just a moment. But back with Coach Michael Short and Chad Barnett, John Holder with you on this Football Friday night. We're going to take you to a game tonight, two next-door neighbor rivals that have met now for 80 times every year since 1944, Chad.
I worked so hard on that lead-in. You still...
Oh, gosh.
Just kidding. 79 times. The longest running rivalry for either school in history as the Eagles lead it 42-36. And as John said, it is their 80th meeting tonight. Let's go out to the field and check out the highlights. Arrive at the start of the second half. Hoax Bluff leading this one 33-0. Coach Robin team looking pretty good so far. Eagles start the third quarter with the ball, and Blaine Barron with a handoff and off for the first down. Next play, Bryce Whitaker. He's going to take off for another Eagle first down. Those uniforms are sweet. They've always been one of my favorites. Just nice, easy, classic uniforms. A few plays later, Whitaker is going to find the end zone for the Eagles, and the Eagles are going to extend their lead 40-0 after the extra point is good. 3rd and inches for the Yellow Jackets, and Aaron Powers is going to fight his way forward and get just enough for the first down. Next play, Garrett Morgan, he's going to punch it in as Glencoe, the Yellow Jackets, get on the board. 40-7 now is the score. Coach Rob still coaching them up, as he's been doing for 20-plus years out in Hoax Bluff. Eagles now back with the ball. Barron gets yet another first down as Glencoe does tackle him a little bit later. 3 plays later, Brent Hale, he's going to punch this one in, and this would be the final TD of the night. Eagles win 47-7. Fans having a little fun in the end zone as the Eagles get the big win over their rival for the 80th meeting. 47-7. We caught up with the Coach Rob after the game.
Here with Coach Mike Robertson, the head coach of the Hoax Bluff Eagles. First of all, Coach, congratulations on this huge win, your huge rivalry of the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. How does it feel to get that first region win?
Just first win of the year, and after the way we played last week. But guys did a great job this week of preparation. You know, it's about practicing right and doing things right. And I know we have for the most part of the summer, but we got some good big plays early in the game and got momentum, and I'm proud of our guys.
Yes, they played great. We got here at the half. Y'all were up 33-0. So it was great to see y'all finish it with 47-7 tonight. And I know it hurts not having the 0 on the board, but your kids did great. How do you want to progress going into next week?
Well, I just want to keep trying to get better. I think we can. You know, we didn't have to throw much tonight. We got to work on our passing game, and our kicking game still up and down. But the effort was there tonight. You know, our guys have played hard and did a lot of good things. So I'm just really proud of our efforts. You know, we'll watch the film and see how it looks, but I think we dominated up front, our linemen.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm going to let you go celebrate your win with your team, and congratulations.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
Big win.
Chad, did you know that was the 80th meeting?
80 times. Tonight, before tonight, it was 79.
And you looked it up.
I did. I worked so hard. I'm just kidding.
Thanks to Bailey Payne, our correspondent out there doing some great shooting tonight and interviewing Coach Rob after the game tonight. Hoax Bluff Glencoe, whoever wins that, if they don't win another game all year, if you win the Hoax Bluff Glencoe game, as you guys know, that's a big one. Let's take a look now, talking about those Team 1 Chevrolet Gadsden region rundowns. Let's drop down a classification to Class 2A Region 4. B.B. Comer, just impressive again tonight. Beat a pretty decent Woodland team, 45-0. Ranburne wins tonight. Thorsby and Vincent also won. Central Coosa, Fayetteville, Isabella, and Woodland right now starting off region play 0-1. But as we've talked about, there's some teams in there that could cause some trouble for B.B. Comer. But, Coach, I'm not sure that anyone in this region can handle the Comer Tigers in 2023.
No, the race is going to be between Ranburne, Thorsby, and Vincent. I mean, that's going to be the race. And the one team we probably may need to look at just a little surprise is Central Coosa. They may be able to upset one of those lower tier teams if they can find a way to get in.
Been a long time since the Cougars have been 2-1. Don't forget about Isabella down there. Fayetteville playing some pretty good football as well. Woodland's not bad, so pretty good behind B.B. Comer. After you get past B.B. Comer, those next 7 could be a tough race there for those other 3 playoff spots in Class 2A Region 4. Guys, let's bring it up north as we continue in Class 2A Region 6. Locust Fork has been very, very impressive. But we said here last week, guys, that, and we'll have some Pleasant Valley highlights coming, I think, in our next segment. Pleasant Valley, if they want to get back to the playoffs for the first time in 13 years, one of the things they had to do, I thought, was beat West End. And they beat West End tonight. That is a huge win for Pleasant Valley as far as trying to get into these Class 2A state playoffs.
You know, their kids out there, and I've listened to you on social media, all they talk about is not just the playoffs, but hosting a playoff game.
That's awesome.
That's all they've talked about, and that's what you got to have. And I'm kind of glad, Coach does a great job out there at Pleasant Valley. I've always liked what he does. He works extremely hard. And maybe this is the year they get over the hump and be able to host a playoff game, and not only host one, they can win one.
It's also because we were talking about Barber County with the state's longest losing streak for 10 years. I remember a day back when Pleasant Valley, I think, held that note, right?
Yes.
They held the state's longest losing streak. So all the trials and tribulations this program's been in there. Now they're 2-0, and not only talking about, like you said, Coach, the playoffs, but also hosting a game after that 180. That's amazing. Good for them.
It won't be easy, but looking at scores tonight, looking at scores throughout the year so far, it is not out of the realm of possibility that Pleasant Valley and Locust Fork might be the region title game. I think Pleasant Valley can beat. They've already beaten West End. I think they would probably be favorites against Southeastern and Cleveland and Gaston and Holly Pine. I think they go to Locust Fork.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, they go to Locust Fork to play. But right now, Pleasant Valley, the momentum with that program right now is probably the highest it's been since Jonathan Nix came over from Ragland to be there. So
awesome.
All right, so that's our 2A Region 6 and 2A Region 4 region rundown presented by Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden. All right, I think we got some Spirit Scholarship stuff coming up. We'll talk about that and more as after the game rolls on Football Friday night. More highlights coming as well.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you are an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
I was out at Awards to Remember today. Hardworking folks, even when I mess things up, they still make it right. Out there correcting some of my mistakes and lack of preparation and memory this week, and they still took care of me today. Awards2remember.com, or go by and see them like I did today. 4017 Alabama Highway 144 in Ohatchee. They will take care of you, I promise you, with any plaques, trophies, medals, any type of awards. T-shirts as well. They do it all at Awards to Remember. They do it all. Service with a smile. They have never, ever let me down. They'll never let you down. They provide all of our awards for our Player of the Week, our Team of the Week, all of our end-of-year awards. Go to awards2remember.com. They also bring you our East Alabama Top 10, which is coming up in just a couple moments. Back with Coach Michael Short and Chad Barnett. Right now we're going to look at 6A football, a couple of regions that involve a couple of teams here in East Alabama. In 6A, we'll begin in Class 6A with, again, South-North, 6A Region 6. Oxford, a big win tonight. They were only up 14-13 at one point, scored the last 28 of the game. Boy, Clay Chalkville really impressive tonight, winning against Pell City. And then you've got Pinson Valley. They had an open date this week, still hanging around. That matchup in a couple of weeks with Oxford will be huge. Center Point, Clay Chalkville, Oxford at the top. Don't forget about Pinson Valley. And then, guys, Huffman, Pell City, and Shades Valley coming up. But Oxford, guys, that's our local team in this region, them and Pell City. Those two teams, I think Pell City's still going to get some wins coming. I really do. But Oxford right now, we expected them to make a jump this year. I think we're starting to see that happen.
Yeah, I don't have a total game stat, but I have Mason Mims' halftime stats. Halftime stats, 9 for 9 passing for 109 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then they also rushed for over 200 yards in the first half.
Yeah, that's not bad.
He's had big weeks against McAdory and against Huntsville. Big game tonight against Shades Valley. They got Huffman next week. Huffman's just not very good this year, so Oxford will probably have a big win getting ready in 2 weeks for that trip to Pinson Valley. And those Pinson Valley-Oxford games through the years have been some doozies in the last decade.
Huffman needs Andre Smith to come back out of retirement. That's what it is. Question, though. Are they, Clay Chalkville, still considered the favorite, do you believe?
I think they're probably the most talented team in the North. They got a ton of college prospects. They seem to be back. Last year they lost in the first round.
Yeah. Oxford closing the gap, though, you think?
I think Oxford. Okay. Oxford, last year Oxford almost beat Clay Chalkville. Yeah. So I think that in my mind, Oxford needs to get past Pinson Valley first. Obviously, it's a big hurdle playing at Pinson. Pinson beat them last year. But in my mind, I think this is coming down to an Oxford-Clay Chalkville region title game.
Be fun.
No doubt, and the only advantage, if there was an advantage, is Clay Chalkville's size advantage up front on both sides of the ball. But Oxford can match that because of their so-called skill players. They're so good out on the perimeter.
Yeah.
And their quarterback is so good because he can hit a pie pan from 40 yards.
Yeah.
We are very fortunate to be able to have the quarterbacks that we have in this region or this whole area that we're getting to watch play. I mean, it was a treat tonight to watch Ogle play, and it'll be a treat when I get to watch Mills play because I know he can do it, and it's going to be amazing. That Oxford-Clay Chalkville game, but you said don't look ahead, but if they get by Pinson Valley, that will be a monstrous ball game.
Class 6A, we go to the next region. And Class 6A Region 8, last year Gadsden City went through this thing like a hot knife through butter. I think they're going to do it again. Won tonight by 35 at Buckhorn. The only team I think, Lee of Huntsville is coming on. They're 3-0, been very impressive. Fort Payne was kind of the team that you look at there. Gadsden City and Fort Payne play next week at Titan Stadium. We're going to be there for that one. But I still think Gadsden City, they blew through this region and won it last year, and I think the same thing's going to happen because Gadsden City, this is the best football team that Ollie Smith has had in his tenure at Gadsden City.
And it all starts with they're so much better up front. They've always had skill players, but they're so much better up front on offense and defensive line that it's not even close. And when they've got that, they've got a very good opportunity, not just to win the region, but to make some noise in the playoffs.
Second round playoffs last year, they may go deeper this time.
Very well could be.
All right, time for our awards to remember. East Alabama Top 10. Some changes here that we've got coming up, and let's go. The changes are really at the bottom. We got a couple of teams. I'll just go ahead and tell you, Piedmont Bulldogs, amazingly, dropped out of the top 10. Spring Garden, with all the success that they have had, Spring Garden is out of our East Alabama top 10. Who replaced them? One of the teams that replaced them, number 10, Randolph County Tigers. Coach Short's been high on them, and I agree with that. Number 9, another new team. Can't keep them out. They're 3-0. The Ohatchee Indians at number 9. Then the rest of the teams are teams that have been there, and I think they're going to be there for a while. Number 8 in our East Alabama top 10, the Anniston Bulldogs, bouncing back with a win tonight. Very impressive against Munford. Number 7 in the East Alabama top 10, Oxford, undefeated, looking to rise higher. Number 6 in our East Alabama top 10, Coosa Christian, 49-0 winners last night at Galesville. I don't think they're going anywhere. Top 5 in our East Alabama top 10, look at Wadley. 41-7 tonight, folks, against Spring Garden. Number 4 in the East Alabama top 10, Central Clay County, also 41-7 winners tonight. Number 3, that team is Cherokee County. They put on cruise control tonight over at Good Hope, 35-0. Number 2, Hanley, winning over Jacksonville tonight, knocking out a top 10 team in Class 4A. And number 1 remains B.B. Comer, 45-0 winners over Woodwood. Guys, you in agreement here with the Ohatchee and Randolph County deserving to be in our East Alabama top 10?
Yes. Good list, for sure. Yes, no, 100%. I mean, I think Ohatchee definitely with the way in which they've won the first 3 weeks has been impressive for sure.
What a game next week, Ohatchee and Sylvania.
Oh, no doubt. Ohatchee and Sylvania will be a knockdown, drag-out war. Sylvania has a lot of team speed, but I think Ohatchee has a lot more team speed than most people think. But there's one next week right here.
That's the one. Yeah.
Anniston and Jacksonville. That's going to be at Golden Eagle Stadium. Huge rival game coming up next Friday as well. Some big games coming up as we move our way through the season. But that is our East Alabama Top 10 presented by Awards to Remember. When we come back, more highlights. We're going to take you to Pleasant Valley next. And, of course, we've still got our Team of the Week announcement coming up as we roll on this Football Friday night presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit Debit Card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
I was in Red Threads this week as well. Not only at Awards to Remember, I was in Red Threads on the square in Jacksonville. Let me tell you, folks, if you're looking for Jacksonville State merchandise, there is no better place to go. They've got Jack State jerseys and things that I don't see anywhere else. They've also got some high school apparel in there as well. Great storefront, great place, nice place to go right there on the square in Jacksonville. Red Threads, powered by O-Brand, bringing you our Red Threads Extra Point. We'll have our last Red Threads Extra Point of the night coming up in just a couple of moments. Back here on High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Back with Coach Short and with Chad Barnett. Our last stop of the night tonight, Raider Field in Pleasant Valley. Always a big game for Jonathan Nix when West End comes to town, because he's a West End High School graduate. So, you know, this is always a special game for him. But this being a region game, as we just talked about in 2A, this was a huge game for Pleasant Valley tonight. Maybe one of the biggest wins Coach Nix has had since he's been at PV.
PV coming off the big win against Dono, 40-0, but then they've also lost the last three versus West End. Can the West End Patriots stop PV from going 2-0 for the first time since 2016? Let's go to the highlights and check this one out. Start at Pleasant Valley facing off with West End. The Patriots. And we're going to start off with Pleasant Valley's number 14, Bryce Freeman. He's going to take the snap, and he is off for the Raiders' first down. A few plays later, Freeman, again, this time another first down. Beautiful run around the side, gets the contact, but goes down with the football. And next play, Holt Bentley. He's going to get the handoff, and the Raiders are going to be on the board first, into the end zone. Extra point is no bueno. It is 6-0 Raiders as the field goal is, or extra point is, wide right. West End now with the ball. And we're going to start out with them having the ball inside their own territory. Jackson Hamby, he's going to be drugged down for a Patriot first down. A few plays later, Hamby is going to air this one out to Rockman Sainsbury, a.k.a. Coach, what's his name? Rocco for the first down. Sainsbury, he's going to power forward, and the Patriots answer with a touchdown of their own. PAT is good. West End leads 7-6. Raiders back on offense. Freeman, he's going to take this one for the first down. Again, nice ball control, keeping it. Next play, Jaden Sparks. He's going to take it into the end zone. Freeman is in now for the two-point conversion. Raiders lead it now 14-7 as they double up the Patriots at home. Fireworks now flying at Raiders Stadium. what happens
Literal
when you
fireworks.
It's what happens. Literal fireworks. Yeah. I was wondering where that was going to come from in the end. Patriots now have something to say about it. Hamby does get the first down, and he's going to go around the left side. Beautiful run. And a few plays later, Hamby is going to get this one into the end zone as the Patriots would answer the Raiders, tying it up 14 apiece. That's all that we got at the stadium tonight with it tied up. Final score, Pleasant Valley unanswered. 20 points from that spot, 34-13. First 2-0 start since 2016.
Wow, big win for Pleasant Valley. Bailey Payne was also covering that game for us for after the game and has a little interview with us from Pleasant Valley tonight.
I'm here tonight with Coach Jonathan Nix of the Pleasant Valley Raiders. First of all, Coach Nix, good luck tonight. But my first question for you is you're 1-0. You're starting in this 2A, Class 2A Region 6 tonight with the West End Patriots. How do you feel? What do you hope to accomplish from last week to this week?
I think the biggest thing is just be where our feet are, right? This is this week. It's not last week. So now we're starting region play. So it's so important for us to be where our feet are right now and sharpen up some things that we messed up on last week. Really liked how the defense swarmed to the ball, liked how our offense was blocking, but we can always improve. So we're looking for those improvement areas.
Yes, sir. Well, we wish you luck tonight.
Bailey Payne with Pleasant Valley head coach Jonathan Nix. Let's take a look at Class 1A now, the only classification where we have not taken a look at region standings. Our region rundown presented by Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden. We've got some very good football teams in this part of the state in Class 1A in both of these regions. We'll begin in 1A Region 6. Ragland 66-0 tonight. Not surprised that Ragland won, but wow, beating Donahoe 66-0. Wadley, again, not a surprise that they won, but beating Spring Garden 41-7. I think Spring Garden still got a really good team. I tell you, Winterboro and Victory are not bad either. This is a pretty good region here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Wadley, I've already seen they've got a beast at running back, and they got a beast of a team, a very young team. And then, like I said, Victor Christian is the one that's the surprise. But it's not really a surprise when you know who their coach is now. I mean, he's got Etheridge written.
Yes.
He's the Etheridge. He was their basketball coach. May have gotten some of those kids out to play now. So they've done a good job. And when they start playing well, they have a good following of people. It should be interesting. But again, just because Spring Garden's 0-1 and 1-2, you can't look at that because Spring Garden now is fixing to get on a run. And don't be surprised when you see Spring Garden and some of the people they're going to be playing.
So I know we talked about the top half of that region, but you look at those ones fighting for the third, fourth playoff spot. I mean, Winterboro's got some athletes.
Yes.
Skylar Mansfield he's been down there for a good bit now. He's got a good coach, or he's a good coach down there. He's got some players, and we'll see if they can maybe make some noise to fight their way to the playoffs too.
I think they can. I really do expect they'll be battling for a playoff spot in 1A Region 6. And guys, as we go north to 1A Region 7, equally some good football teams there, notably Coosa Christian. They are 2-1. That only lost to Geraldine, and that's not a bad loss at all. You got Valley Head, you got Decatur Heritage. We expect they're always good, and Decatur Heritage took a little dip last year. They seem to be back this year. I would expect that the region title game is probably going to be Coosa and Decatur Heritage.
Oh, but no doubt between those two, I think that's probably the two most experienced teams. And a lot of times that's what you're looking for. The two most experienced teams and two good coaching staffs. That's what I see when I see that group right there.
I want to see Coosa myself because I understand from what I talked to a few people tonight, and I have not seen them with my own eyes, but they say the size that they have is just unmatched in this area for 1A schools.
Size, athletes, depth. They got 51 players on the roster.
That's
in
a
1A.
lot of kids in 1A football.
And team speed and a lot of coaches over there on the sidelines. Coaches that are not just volunteers. They have hired a lot of guys to be able to coach. You see 6 or 7 guys over there, and that's a lot for 1A football.
Time for our last Red Threads extra point of the night. As we promised you, going to take a look at that, and then we'll have our Team of the Week announcement coming up after the break. The longest winning streak in the AHSAA now belongs to Saraland. The defending Class 6A state champions have won. You can make that now 9 straight games after tonight's big win over St. Paul's. Spartans' last loss, 27-26 loss to Theodore. That was back on October 21st of last year. When we come back on after the game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, Team of the Week time. Who's getting the trophy and the T-shirts? We'll find out in 3 minutes.
sports equipment, and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
In just a few hours, the Anniston Orthopedics Saturday Morning Sports Injury Clinic will be open. It opens at 8 o'clock. We can say this morning, because we're after midnight, every Saturday morning at 8 a.m., you can see an orthopedic doctor, get x-rays if needed. Most importantly, you can get back on the field as soon as possible. There is no sense in suffering or worrying all weekend. Anniston Orthopedics is here to provide quality care and peace of mind every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. for all high school athletes. This is volleyball players, this is cross country and football players who might be suffering from an injury. The longest standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, Anniston Orthopedics, Tyler Center, 3rd floor, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We're going to wrap things up by naming our Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week. And let me tell you, folks, this is another team that has never won it before. So this is going to be brand new blood coming in. This is the team that is going to get the Ted's Floors and Beyond. They're going to get the Ted's Floor and Beyond Anniston Orthopedic score shirts. They're going to get the trophy. They're going to get the Ted's Floors and Beyond T-shirts that they get. So they get 2 T-shirts and they get the trophy. And we're bringing all of that to Pleasant Valley. The Raiders, our first ever Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week, trophy and shirts coming out to Pleasant Valley. Congratulations to Jonathan Nix and the Raiders for their 34-14 win over West End tonight, or should I say last night, out at Raider Field at Pleasant Valley. Congratulations to the Raiders. We're coming out there with the shirts and the trophies. Congratulations to our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week winner, Pleasant Valley. For Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett, our entire hard-working after the game crew, we'll see you back here next Friday night at 10 o'clock on Facebook and YouTube.
Scoreboard is a production of Fairfax Garden Media.